Here is a good look at the rear subframe without the bushing in it. I've just pulled the bushing out. You can see it's essentially a fairly thin-walled welding of the sleeve onto the control arm. Above it, you can see the the body where the bolt goes up into it. So essentially, this bushing fits right in between. So the next thing that I'll do is to take the new bushing, which is right here, and I'll put some dishwashing liquid, a little bit on the outside of it and a little bit on the inside of the arm to make it slide through a little bit more easily. You'll also notice that there is indication arrows front and rear on this, on both this side and on the other side. So this is a directional bushing. Before I pulled the old ones out, I made a mark on the casting in line with the old bushing. So essentially, they want the strongest part of the bushing to be facing front rear. So you can get a good look at it there. So the front rear arrows will line up with the arm. So that's the way it'll go up in there. Then essentially, to do that, I have another set of parts. Essentially, what we have is I had this piece made that fits here on this side. You can see it fits right down in there. So it evenly pushes the bushing up into the car. This spacer goes on top. The nut goes on top of that. So essentially, there's how it goes. That's when I'm pulling it out. So you can see this is the inside of my sleeve. You can see how we've built this notch on each side to match the notches of the bushing. So you can see how it would come right out, go right up in through there. And that's how it comes out, is that the all thread goes right up through there and pulls it right down. This sits like this sits like this, and the all thread is right like that. So that's the assembly. It goes up, and then as you tighten the bottom down here, it basically pulls that bushing all the way down into this casting, or this sleeve, and that way it's only pulling the bushing and not touching the outside of the aluminum housing. You don't want to touch that at all, because obviously it's very fragile compared to everything we've got here. So that's how it comes out. Going back up, it's not a lot different. Essentially, I had manufactured this cap goes on the top. It fits it's a little bit bigger than the diameter of the bushing. There's the bushing. There's the outside of it. You put your washer and nut on top like that, and then we have this other piece that fits on the bottom, and it pushes it up from the bottom up into the top, and that's essentially how it goes. So it works really well. I'll go ahead and get that assembled, and then I'll show you when it's assembled.